It's really a great pleasure to be among friends from the Eisenhower Foundation and friends from Singapore and leaders in the urban issues around the world. Architects like images, so I would like to share with you some images that can help understanding better the topic of our conference, the future of urban living. If you see this slide, this is how the world will be in 2020. Never in the history of the humanity, the rhythm, the level of transformation of cities around the world has been so dramatic than the beginning of this century. So this question, I think, is really important to understand what kind of ideas, what kind of solution we can really face. 15 years ago, in Philadelphia, I created this foundation with the help of the Eisenhower Foundation. Fundación Metrópoli, which is an international center of innovation in cities and regions. The initial partner of Fundación Metrópoli was the Eisenhower Foundation. The Eisenhower Foundation introduced me to fellows around the world, and through fellows we connected with mayors and with presidents of the universities to do research around the world. This is today the EcoBox, which is the headquarters of Fundación Metrópoli in Madrid, and Territorios Inteligentes, intelligent cities are the philosophy of the foundation that we operate with different cities around the world. That was the Proyecto Cities that David commented. We did research to analyze why some cities were successful and other cities had problems in this very complex global environment. This research we did in collaboration with universities in different parts of the world. And in our foundation, we do three things. One is research for knowledge creation and sharing. Second is the laboratories of design, to design regions, to design cities, to design innovation hubs, and even experimental architecture. And then incubation, going from ideas to reality, connecting seed capital with urban ideas to transform the world around us. I would like to share with you three concepts of the research of Fundación Metrópoli over these 15 years. The first idea I would like to share with you is the new scale of thinking, the new scale of cities. This is a research we did in United States to discover the engines of the United States economy. These super cities, or these megacity regions, are today and will be in the future the engines of the economy of the United States. If you see the northeast on the right, the northeast corridor, you see New York in the middle. This is the density, the demographic density. New York, Boston. You see also Washington. So Boston can have very good universities, 75 universities. Philadelphia, 80 universities and colleges, because part of the talent is in Manhattan. And professors, teachers, so this kind of interaction for environmental system, ecosystem of innovation, logistic platform, this is a new scale of cities. If we go to Mexico, these are economic corridors between Canada, United States, and Mexico. This is the Mexico area, this is the topography, and these are the cities. This is Mexico DF, one of the biggest cities in the world. But little by little, you can connect cities. Cities in the future will not live in isolation, but will create urban system. And this system we call the diamonds. This is the Mexican diamond. In 6% of the territory of Mexico, 55% of the GDP of Mexico. So this engine of the Mexico economy will be a way of approaching urban living in the future. I will show you why some projects in some of the cities of the Diamond of Mexico will not be possible without the consideration of the Diamond. The Diamond is not only about cities, roads, and environmental system. The diamonds are a dream. The Diamond is about points, cities, lines, infrastructure. Surfaces are the environmental system. You see the environmental system of the diamond here. So, but it is very important to understand this new scale. This is Guadalajara, Mexico, in the diamond. This is how cities in Mexico grow, sprawling. But we need, for innovation, we need to go to the center of the cities. This is the historical center. Why not the historical center of our cities can become the technology parks, the hubs of innovation of the future? Historical heritage is very important, and these are the mixed use. history, mixed use is important, but we need to discover the cluster, the emerging cluster of the economy in the future. In the case of the Guadalajara, we have a digital hub, health cluster, design, tourism. All these clusters, all this transformation will be connected through pedestrian activities. I mean, pedestrian people, the pedestrian system will connect ideas, will interact the different clusters. And not only the pedestrian network, but also the digital network. So digital network is important for interaction, but without the existence of Mexico DF, which is a center of talent, which has international connectivity, has financial strength, would be impossible to have a project like the Ciudad Creativa Digital, Digital and Creative City in Guadalajara. And this connectivity is really important. The connectivity, physical connectivity with other economic spaces around Mexico. Right? Other example of this new scale of thinking is the European Diagonal. 4 countries in the south of Europe. This is a research that discovered the diamonds in the European Diagonal. You have the Portuguese diamond here, Mediterranean diamond, Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, Côte d'Azur diamond, Alpen diamonds. These are the new scale for competition. This is the new scale of cooperation among cities. One city cannot compete internationally. For instance, Madrid has very strong logistic platform, but is using the Port of Barcelona and the Port of Valencia. All the tourist development in the Mediterranean is because the second homes of Madrid are in this area. So we need to think bigger to understand how infrastructure, how high-speed train, ports, how airports can really articulate the competitive territories of the future. This is an example of a city in Spain, Bilbao. Bilbao was considered the first receiver of the Lee Kuan Yew World Cities Prize, which is considered the Nobel of cities. So that was Bilbao 30 years ago. After a flooding, Bilbao was like that, and you will see Bilbao today. So this is 25 years of transformation. But Bilbao spent more money in cleaning the river than in building the museum. So the Guggenheim effect and the physical transformation of the city is really important, but the challenge for the future of Bilbao is not only the physical transformation of the last 25 years. Challenge will be for Bilbao creating an environment where you can attract talent. And talent is not only about physical space, it's about also having a project, having a vision for the future. This is Bilbao. This is Metropolitan Bilbao. This is a space syntax analysis that tells us about centrality. Innovation and centrality is important. Technology parks in the suburbia are not the places for innovation. Innovation happens sometimes 11 o'clock in the evening, having a drink with some friends and sharing a new project. So it is important to go to the center of the cities, because the center of the cities will be the technology parks of the future, because talent, which is the raw material of the knowledge economy, likes to live in places with identity, with a strong identity. That's a potential role of the city centers, because new technology, new digital technology is compatible with this physical infrastructure. It's important to understand the clusters. In the case of Bilbao, we have promoting different clusters associated with the arts, technology, tourism, and this cluster will really activate with digital platform the center of the city. Not only at the scale of the center of the city, but also at the scale of the metropolitan area, at the scale of the city region. This is the Basque Country polycentric structure. This is the Basque Diamond, which is Bilbao, San Sebastian, and Vitoria. And this is a new scale of connecting cities, a new scale of thinking in different interaction. Digital connectivity is important. This is the internet connectivity in the world. You see Europe and United States, how it's connected. You see the shadow in China. You see Japan here, or Australia here, Latin America, Africa. is incredible. So being connected with the network is really important, because today technology is really changing our cities, and as I told at the beginning of my presentation, cities are changing the world. So in the future there is a challenge. Our foundation is now working in this intersection between physical and digital spaces. The idea of connecting territory and technology is really a challenge for all of us. And we are now exploring, in collaboration with a technology company, we are now exploring the intersection between our methodologies for designing physical space with the new digital revolution. We saw the invention of the computer, the invention of the PC, the invention of internet. The next revolution will be the intersection between cloud computing, mobile devices, social networking, and big data. This intersection, if we can really connect with the methodologies of designing cities and territories, is important. 3 months ago, we signed an agreement of collaboration between Fundación Metrópoli and Microsoft to create this Next Cities Lab. The Next Cities Lab will work at the intersection between urban intelligence and digital technology, but focus on competitiveness, how we can accelerate competitiveness of the territories, but at the new scale of cities, not at the scale of the traditional city, but at the scale of the diamonds, at the scale of polycentric structure of cities. And we would like to apply as pilot experience in different parts of the world. So this is some of the key points I wanted to share with you. The new scale of thinking for the planning the cities of the future, the relationship between emerging economic cluster and physical territory, and the role of the technology in connecting cities with the economy and people in different parts of the world. So thank you for your attention, and we can discuss later on this.